2 in the best of 3 currently underway. We're in the round of 8 for the legacy of the OlimoLeague. Spawning here in the top left corner of the map, it's going to be the red Terran player, Miso.
The bottom right is the blue Zerg. It's Impact.
Now, we do have plans to try and cast both semifinals for you all. That way you don't miss any of the action. Currently in this semifinals, obviously you're watching it, the winner will play against the winner of MMA versus Dragon. The second semifinals will be composed of Lepak versus Speedy and Ryung versus Alicia. So at this rate, there is the potential for an all-Axiom finals. If Impact takes this top half of the bracket, and Ryung or Alicia can take the bottom half.
Well, MMA is like a adopted Axiom.
Yeah, he's like 0.5 Axiom, right? Like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's too bad Axiom Heart couldn't make it, or whatever it was, and there could have been really just Axiom versus pseudo-Axiom and Axiom versus Axiom.
I have no complaints if that ended up being the case, by the way, but you know, here's the thing that is a little bit different about Cheese in Legacy of the Void. You start off with significantly more workers, so pulling 3 drones to stop this 2-Rax, oh god, that's actually not so bad. This poor CV though, he's got to get at least one of these Raxes done.
Yeah, it looks like he will. He's already following it up with a gas behind it, so maybe gonna transfer, like, go ahead and cancel the second Rax, then just go into kind of a Reaper proxy after Marine.
I mean, it's awkward and it's weird, but I guess that's the other thing for the Terran player, right? You have so many SCVs, you don't cut them the same way, so they are both on the same workers right now.
And he does cancel that second Rax.
I'm not sure if he'll... I guess he'll have to wall off this part, obviously, but these 2 drones, they're gonna try to make sure this doesn't happen. Oh my god. Surround. Gotcha, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, this has been all types of awkward, but I guess it's going into a pretty seamless transition, I would say. I mean, it'd be better if Miso could have gotten the command center on the low ground to be really seamless, but that's just going to happen with the Ling's almost done.
Oh.
Now the Reaper's finally going to pop out. It's going to take forever.
Very important that the Marine actually got back home, by the way. He'll need something to shoot over the walls to attack those Lings. And yeah, the Reaper's going to require a pretty fair amount of detail, or attention to detail here. Not only for scouting, but for the sake of killing things. But the Queen, actually, you know what? The Queen's late, I guess. So, oh, she's over here. That's why. Gets a drone and gets out.
No, I'm in the SCV lead. Haha.
Aha! Still in the SCV lead. Oh, repair the depot. Don't you love that? You're like, you know, if I just never finished this building, it wouldn't be on fire. Not a problem. But the second you finish it, it burns. So, can you imagine how bad that SCV feels? Like, I am the worst constructor of all time.
How does it even happen? Like, it's perfectly not on fire until it finishes and just, like, bursts into flames.
Dude,
you know,
that's like... Dude, what's that Simpsons thing? Homer's, like, pouring cereal into a bowl or something and it bursts on fire. Like,
oh, I was thinking, like, when he, like, does the hammer thing and he's, like, steady, and hits himself in the eye with it.
Yeah, the Simpsons movie was pretty good. Oh, man. But okay, so MMA, or not MMA, pardon me, Miso sort of normalizes at home. I got MMA on the brain, right? It's jelly that we're not counting him. Miso normalizes at home. He does have 3 CCs up, so really, or well, third one on the way. It's not such a bad spot to be in. It's awkward because, okay, she's really didn't work out. But I'm curious when this follow-up. I guess, Reaper's in a Cyclone, maybe? He doesn't really have the gas for that, though, with 1 gas. I don't know what he plans to do with this.
That's a good question. We'll find out, though, I guess. I mean, he's going to go into mech. Last game went to bio.
This seriously, like, what Impact did with that stealing of gas, that wasn't just about using the drone in his own base. Like, that, in my opinion, is really clever, because gas, we've talked about it being so valuable now, it's so hard to get. You know, most scary opening moves are, like, mech related anyway, so you really, you choke him out, more or less, by taking that geyser for so long. It took me so long to get enough gas. He actually can't even build a Cyclone or a tank right now. He had to go straight into Hellions, because he's only just now got the gas to build something.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that he could go into Blue Flame and try and make the best of the situation, just so he's not giving you gas for that, but the roaches are already out, so the chances of that actually working is rather low.
Well, let's see if the Reaper actually scouts this, though. You can see that lair. There we go. Very important he actually saw those roaches. If you just see that layer, you might accidentally assume that it's Spire. You see those gases. You don't see the Roach Warren. Could go 5 different ways sideways. But, oh, that's a lot of Ravagers. Zombie Grove. That's a lot of Ravagers. And Miso, he's not inexperienced. He's played a good chunk, like we said. He won the first Legacy of the OlimoLeague. I know he's played in every other Legacy tournament since. I don't know how successful he's been because he hasn't won. But that being said, this is still something that he probably predicted in the back of his head, like, I should have known this was coming.
Yeah. Well, Cyclone can do decent against them until it runs out of room to kite, or it just runs out of the spell ability after killing one of them. But that's what the tank hopefully can come out for and help a little bit. The wall might also be done in time to just keep them out of the base for a little while longer.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about Corrosive Bile. It guarantees you'll eventually break this, but it means it won't go down right away. But, oh, those hits were good. Can the Hellions get involved in the fight? They gotta fry up those lings. SCVs could surround the Ravagers. Even though there is the threat of Corrosive Bile, they can still get that surround, do good damage. Take these units on. Lock on doing some good damage. Cyclone auto attack hits for like 23 or 18 or something, so it's pretty good just generally speaking, but so many SCVs went down.
Yep.
And that's not a full wall off. Miso, not again.
That's why not a bunker? Oh well.
Why not literally an engineering bay even? Like, just not one depot. There we go.
Oh, that did put Miso back a little bit. Of course, I don't think he has a third. Oh, he does have a third. All right, so having a third CC, you know, you're gonna place those SCVs kind of fast, and maybe you'll be able to take it.
Good spread on the drones out of impact.
Very good.
Yeah, even clumping them up in the retreat doesn't end up being that deadly, and okay, Miso gets out of here with some of the Hellions alive, but only gets a very small amount of workers compared to what he lost.
He's gonna lose. Okay, the Helen can still do some work here. A little bit of a clump up, right? Okay,
Still, though, even though he gets about 10 workers for it, actually, I guess that's actually not too bad because you brought up the 3CC thing, and again, a couple of mules here, the 3 SCV production there. I mean, it does suck that he can't actually take a third just yet, but still, Miso's not in horrible shape, just not in a good place.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse as his main is starting to get mined out. I mean, it was losing patches by the time he transferred workers over into the natural after that failed T-Rax. So, I mean, his economy really is starting to get a little starved. You just feel a little pressure to get that third base. His upgrades never really started. His mech composition isn't really here. I mean, he has 3 tanks, but not much else. It's like forever that creep to clear up.
Yeah, that's going to be probably the worst part. He can knock down the walls maybe to buy himself some good defensive time too, but roaches are out, and well, Impact, I don't believe has Burrow. No, he doesn't. They're still going to be kind of pesky to deal with. Now, Hellions are running by. They're going to try and go for some drone kills once again. There are a lot more drones here at the third this time, so immediately pre-pulling some of them. Impact always seems so good at this, by the way. I've tried replicating this myself. I've seen other Zerg players try to do it. Nobody seems to be able to run drones into Hellions like Impact does without losing them all.
Well, I kind of wish that Impact would break down his own little cooling tower if he knew about it.
Yeah. It was kind of funny. We talk about this so frequently like it's an easy thing, but you know, we're playing the Archon mode with Zervas and Queenie. You know, even they were kind of like, oh, that's right, you can do that. You know, it's just so many folks I think know about it, but they don't think about it on the fly.
These roaches won't live long.
No, they certainly will not. They do knock down the cooling tower, though, so props to Miso, my second favorite Terran now, because Ryung did it first. But damn, that's a lot of Corruptor Zombie Grub.
What is he gonna do with these?
That's what I'm curious about. Oh, they can attack buildings now, duh!
Well, yeah, but even still, so is he just gonna, like, blitz a command center or something?
No, but I think you can actually position yourself here to take those 2 geysers.
That's 15 Corruptors, Rifkin. Like,
look,
that's a lot to kill a couple of geysers.
Look, if you don't lose any of them, though, it's worth it.
Well, until they push. I mean...
So here's the mechanic of this, right? This is the old Void. This is the Wings of Liberty Void Ray. The damage attacking, it ramps up the longer you're attacking something. It's got a cooldown, and it's not an auto attack. It's a spellcast ability. But it looks like they're peeing, and it's so stupid. But as we see, they can attack ground. Cyclones can lock on, though. They can't attack units, it's worth noting. I don't know if Impact knows that. Maybe Impact's sticking around a little bit. But you cannot attack units with these. You can only attack buildings. Now, I kind of thought maybe he was doing this with the thought of a Broodlord transition or something, but there's still no hive tech. There's no infestation bit. I don't know what he's doing with these.
I think he thought they could attack ground.
You know what? It has to be the case. I can't imagine another situation where Impact just builds these so foolishly. So I guess learning with Hexium. Drones do get pulled once again, but so good at minimizing that damage. Corruptors kind of gave up. There's a fairly long cooldown on their ability. I personally don't think there should be a cooldown, period, but it's 7 damage per second,
What?
going up to 35. Yeah, because it's like a 30-second cooldown, isn't it? Yeah, 32-second
okay, but no cooldown at all? Like...
Okay, my bad.
Okay,
maybe not
Zerg
no,
player.
maybe not no cooldown, but 30 seconds is kind of ridiculous for how little damage this does and how easily you're going to have to peel off of a building to walk away.
You haven't seen them pee on Nexus when no one's around, okay?
Peons. Work. Alright, we got the Cyclone range upgrade targeting optics on the way. Increases their range to 9 for their lock-on ability. Makes them really good at holding on to units too once they catch them. But, yeah, the damage from these things is pretty ridiculous. Oh, there's mutas coming, though. 18 of them. I guess that's where Impact says, alright, Corruptors were a mistake. Oops.
Yeah. Awkward.
But the thing is, honestly, with so many Cyclones and a couple of Thors in the army, these might not be so difficult to deal with. The Corruptors guarantee that Miso can't go Vikings. I mean, just by revealing that many Corruptors, it's not going to be cost-effective to go Vikings. So that's might be why we see so many Cyclones specifically.
Well, you can certainly start adding in a couple of Thors, and everything here will just clump up. There's a lot of militaries already put down.
Oh, Impact, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You fight over, like, so many missile turrets. Impact, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw his thought process was, they're tough for a little bit, that they would go ahead and kill the missile turrets, and then you'd run in with the mutas. But, well, first, the micro wasn't there, and second, it really does take a while to ramp up, so...
Yeah. It is seriously a very small amount of damage at first. Even if you got like 40 Corruptors attacking something, it's not much. Oh my god, so many lock-ons! So many Corruptors are gonna go down here! Oh!
Oh, I hope someone else in the Axiom house is laughing at him right now.
Well, 2 minutes from now, or 3 minutes from now they will be. That stream delay. Unless they're over his shoulder, then that's just super BM. Oh, I'm gonna go so on tilt. If someone's like watching me, standing right behind me, and they start laughing maniacally, I'll just turn around and punch them, man. I wouldn't even give it a second thought.
Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, yeah, you make fun of me for wanting to punch someone that hugs me, but someone laughs behind your back, and you're just like, ugh, no.
That's a totally different scenario. Alright, Cyclones are going to get lock-ons onto the mutas. Problem is, mutas are quite quick and they can't keep up with them. And as we see, they pick them off very quickly. That Thor not getting shots off because nothing here is really clumped up. But the Cyclones take out about, I'd say, a good fourth of the mutas before they all go down. Seriously, Cyclones are fan-freaking-tastic. 15 mutas dead out of this, like, clump of 30.
They're not even dead yet.
If Miso had a couple more, if he had an extra Thor, if he had maybe a missile turret, or I don't know, a Viking because the Corruptors died, I think he actually cleans up those mutas without losing those tanks. But Impact, he kind of made a big goof. He made a big gaffe with the Corruptors. He did waste a lot in this game. So as strange as as an engagement as that was, it doesn't put him ahead just yet.
No, it doesn't. Well, this is not quite a planetary, but the missile turrets are done, so good enough. And you just can't do anything here.
So I want to touch on something put in chat real quick, by the way. Since I don't get it, these players could spend 5 minutes reading the beta overview and they know all of everything in advance. That's true, but you have to understand a lot of these folks are fighting against muscle memory and practice builds that they've been doing for years or months, right? It's not so easy to just be like, well, I'm going to forget 2 years of training because Corruptors are different now, Impact's,
I mean, sure.
He's experimenting a little bit, obviously, but I'm just speaking generally here.
Like Blizzard's patch notes, or whatever you want to call them, expansion notes, aren't very thorough either. Like, you actually cannot blame some of these things on the players not reading up on it. Like, unless they know English and can look up Jack Attack's little document. There's a lot of questions that were only answered by that one, Like, for instance, Burrow was broken by lock-on.
Yeah, or the way the Oracle, or not the Oracle, the Disruptor actually interacts with a lot of things.
Yeah, so, like, I don't even know, like, does the tooltips say that it only hits air? Does it even have tooltips on after being, a professional gamer for years and years?
It's like, when they're doing Fight Night and Todd's, like, making fun of or brings up F12 and everyone starts making fun of Todd. I'm like, you know what, F12, I don't use it myself, but it's pretty good for anyone who needs a quick, like, okay, I don't remember how this goes. Because your alternative is what, Google? Tab out in Google?
Yeah, so, just be a little, just lighten up, alright? It's not your fault.
Well, Mulos find a dead spot to get a little bit between like 19 turrets and a Thor. They found a spot where they can attack the SCVs. Go figure. For Impact's sake, though, he's got a pretty nice Ravager army on the ground, but as we've seen, this doesn't hold up in the late game. Ravagers are great as like a complementary unit. Corrosive Bile can be pretty cool at breaking locations, but you need something else. And that something else, if you're going to rely on the mutas, well, they're pretty much dead. You know, how many have died easily this game? 41! Wow! Lock-on gets wasted on the Lynx.
Yeah, spread! Spread!
It's really good for kiting, but not when you've got this many Cyclones already locked down in your army. Impact is in a surprising amount of trouble right now. And again, so much just goes to the Corruptor thing, man. Like I really would love, like, if he loses this game, obviously we can't message him and ask him because it'd be on tilt. But I want to know, like, if that was on purpose, if it was an accident, if he was screwing around because he thought he was ahead and was feeling a little bit cocky. Like, I don't understand the thought. Like, for Corruptor, sure, right? Goof around, misclick, test things. But he went like 20 Corruptors deep. That's so expensive. That's so much minerals and gas.
Imagine how happy he was if he was to think that they could hit ground units.
I know, he just floats them over the tank.
So powerful. I gotta do this.
Well, there's tons of Lynx running around the map, but they're not really upgraded. They'll be good at picking off bases, getting some SCVs, but when it comes to the Hellbats, they can do a lot of damage. Now, I want to point out Blue Flame never got research for the Hellbats. A little bit funny to see, but there's not been a necessity for it yet.
He's trying to go into Swarm Host right now, and he is getting the Flying Locust upgrade. But is it too late? He doesn't have a lot of gas, but he has a lot of minerals. He has expanded again to that middle base, but this push is coming now. And the Swarm Host, they're not defensive units, really.
His supply is down. He just ran a bunch of it into Hellbats. Yeah, Swarm Host, it's kind of funny. Like, that is the big change. I guess I've never heard anyone describe it like you just did, but that's true. They've gone from being something you can root into the ground and play defensive all day with. They're not like that at all anymore. If anything, they're hit and run units.
Yeah. They're very much, I mean, I think their best use is when you're already in a fairly good position and they're pinned back, and then you can start flying over, you know, turtleneck basically, which isn't nearly as popular. But still an issue sometimes. You know, they're gonna wall up and you can't break it. That's when you make these Swarm Hosts.
Oh, no. What?
Not like this. Not like this.
Alright, Flying Locusts are done. And if they can catch the tanks, that'd be great. But you know, here's the problem with the Flying Locusts. They are light units in the air that kind of cluster. There's like 8 Thors on the ground. He might actually lose the Locusts in the air, alternative to if he had just landed them early. And you can manually land them early. But let's see if Thors deal with them before they actually come down. Yep. Mid-air! Not a single one touched the ground! Oh dear. The Cyclone army is coming in, and Miso looks like he might actually give us a game number 3 here at this rate. Impact just, I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does. He's got no gas to work with.
I think it's more that Impact gave us a game 3.
I didn't want to say it like that, but yeah.
Yeah, he messed around. He thought something when it wasn't true. Yeah, I would just call that an experimental game from Impact.
You know, here's the thing though, right? He did go for +2 ranged upgrades. He had